Hey guys, welcome to episode number 16 of Intelligent Wrestling Talk. I am Dan Janoff,
And I am Sean Specs.
and I'd like to welcome you to the show. And if you are new, this is our weekly wrestling show where we talk about the week that was wrestling, give some news. I have a segment called Facebook Post of the Week where we find our Facebook favorite Facebook posts within our group. And lastly, and most importantly, we have our Q&A that we throw up just about 24 to 40 hours beforehand so people have enough time to submit their questions and we answer them during this show. And also, if there's ever any time you want to skip to a certain segment of the show, say you want to listen to SmackDown or you just want to listen to NXT, or if you just here for the Q&A with the magic of YouTube, you can just click on the time next to whatever you want to listen to, and it just fast forwards you right to that point. And with that being said, let's start off with the pay-per-view from WWE was Hell in the Cell, and it started off with the WWE Tag Team Championship match between the current Tag Team Champions Goldust and Cody Rhodes taking on the Usos and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns of the Shield. It was a pretty great start to the pay-per-view. We saw many wrestlers jumping out of the ring. We saw a ridiculous superplex on the outside of the ring. And we would also see Cody Rhodes and Goldust end up keeping their tag team titles.
A move that we all pretty much predicted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping that they'd get a good run, and it looks like they're going with it. And I'm just glad that Goldust is finally getting the push he's deserved after all this time.
Yeah.
You know, he's not been this. He's not had this sort of position in the company since way back to sort of mid-90s, really.
Yeah. And all right, let's move on to the next match. It wasn't really that, I guess, not really that much of an important match, but I guess it was just more significant because we saw a debut on WWE TV outside of NXT where we see Summer Rae tagging with Fandango against Natalia and the Great Khali, and she would actually end up getting the win in her first match not on NXT.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing about that, which I'm sure we'll get into later, but see that would be the perfect way of phrasing it, you know, her WWE TV match
Hmm.
debut. Not like what Michael Cole said, her
Yeah.
first wrestling match. No. That I don't know, they just seem to they get NXT all wrong. They promote it all wrong in a kind of they either don't acknowledge it or if they sort of do, they just I don't know, it's weird. You
Yeah, because they put it up for everybody to watch, and they don't promote it on any other WWE show.
huh.
It just doesn't make any sense.
and and there's no continuity if something does happen, like if there's a cameo by someone from NXT, JBL will
Hmm.
just go like, "Who the hell was that?" Even though you saw him talking to him on NXT.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'll get into that a bit later.
yeah. All right, the next match we would see. Well, actually, we heard some news because this was originally supposed to be Big E Langston taking on Curtis Axel, but there was word that Axel was, I guess, too injured to wrestle that night. So
Yes,
it
he
would
had
end
the
up,
perfect injury.
yeah. So they would end up switching him to take on Dean Ambrose, which they kind of started this little feud just randomly out of nowhere. And I don't know about you, but the crowd kind of seemed pretty out of it to me. And then
Dean
that's,
Ambrose.
yeah, I mean, even with Dean Ambrose in the match, there was little to no build up, and not many people there seemed to really care about it. And he was even supposed to, Big E, rather, was supposed to wrestle on the pre-show. And I think they should have kept with that, but Dean Ambrose would end up keeping his title. I believe that was because he ended up walking out.
I don't know. There seems to be a lot of weird finishes, and because there's so many rematches, it's hard to remember what happened from one match to another,
Yeah,
especially if they're kind of similar endings.
yeah.
A big ending, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Ah, yes.
All right, now we'll get into, let's see, the World Heavyweight Championship match, which I guess we could all really predict the ending of this one.
Yeah,
It's John Cena, new World Heavyweight Champion for the 600th time, maybe?
something like that. It's funny because people, if you really sort of look at how long he's held the belts, most of them he's just been a transitional champion.
Yeah,
A lot of the
uh,
times he's dropped it after a month or two.
I haven't really noticed that.
It's if you look back, he's pretty much been a transitional champion. A transitional champion generally won't hold it for more than like 3 months, and he's always lost it within around that time. The only times where he hasn't was it's like in his first three reigns, possibly,
Yeah,
and after that, he's pretty much only kept it for like a couple months.
yeah. I mean,
So
I would imagine here too it would be the same because I don't know. They've always built him more for being on just Raw all the time rather than being on both Raw and SmackDown.
yeah, I don't think SmackDown's really. Um, I don't know. I just don't think they really care about it now. It's like you can tell when they try and they get the bigger matches like on there, but
Mhm.
it just seems like an afterthought.
Yeah,
You
this is
know?
unfortunate.
Yeah. See, I think this should really go back to. It's probably going to happen in the. If they could have they keep Raw,
Yeah,
scrap SmackDown, bring back Saturday night's main event as a weekly show, and
yeah,
have that. So you have the main show being Raw, the sort of mini show being main event, and that'll give chance to like NXT guys to have matches on main event against WWE guys.
I think that would be great.
You know, best of both worlds.
Yeah,
Because I really don't think SmackDown's got much of a future. It's been struggling for years.
yeah,
Until they have the confidence to let people, chant what they want and all that stuff. Give it like a proper live feel instead of, as we say all the time, the dubbed in annoying noises
yeah,
and whatnot. Yeah, so that's what I'd do.
yeah. I definitely agree with that. Um, and next we'll move on to the first Hell in a Cell match of the night, which would be between CM Punk taking on what was supposed to be Ryback and Paul Heyman, but what we would see before the match was Paul Heyman lifted on top of the cell. So we wouldn't really see him get involved in the match, but we would see CM Punk win and then afterwards climb up after him, hit him quite a few times with that kendo stick and give him the GTS. And seems like this feud is pretty much nearing its end.
Yeah, I mean that's two straight pay-per-view wins for Punk over Ryback, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's funny because I think Paul Heyman's actually beat Punk more than Ryback has.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So yeah, I can't see this going anymore. I mean, I don't think they're going to do anything major with Joe Henning. I think once he's back from injury, he'll drop the title to Big E.
Yeah, I could see that.
Um, I don't think it'll make much sense Ambrose dropping the title to him.
No, I don't think there's been enough build up for that,
Uh,
considering he's held it for
a
I can't remember.
while.
Yeah, a really long time actually.
Um,
We'll get into the main event then from Hell in a Cell, which was Daniel Bryan taking on Randy Orton with the special guest referee being Shawn Michaels for the
Shawn
WWE.
Michaels.
Exactly, for the WWE Championship. And during the match, we would see Triple H come down the ring and make sure Shawn, quote, does the right thing. And Shawn would end up getting knocked down during the match, as all referees tend to do. Uh,
Yeah, he did take a ref bump. Very
yeah.
strange.
And Triple H would come in to check on him by throwing Bryan off of Shawn, who was already checking on him. Bryan would then knee Triple H in the face, which would then cause Shawn Michaels to super kick him, and Orton would pin Bryan and get the win and the WWE Championship. So Beckett no longer has the title.
Yes, and it's such a shame because Abeyance was
Hmm.
such a good champion.
Yeah, he really was.
Yeah. But I mean, after he'd finished with WWE, he went to TNA and then held their title for a bit.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was Abeyance is having one hell of a career.
he really is, especially over the past couple of months.
I don't even know if I'm saying that word correctly. Is it Abeyance?
Yeah, yeah, I think that sounds right.
How high pitched did you go there?
I have no idea I didn't even mean to do that. Just sort of happened,
You're going through puberty again.
possibly.
You're getting ready to evolve.
Yes. All right, that's we'll do it for Hell in the Cell
And puberty.
and puberty, and it's time to get into Monday Night Raw. Um, I know we're not really looking too forward to talking about this, but we'll try to get through it as quickly as painlessly as possible. We see John Cena coming out the ring saying he's back, and he'll give Del Rio his rematch. Sandow would end up coming out to say he's going to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then starts to beat him up with that very same briefcase, and before you know it, he cashes it right in. Of course, it was interrupted by a uh, a commercial break, which is something I've never really seen in a
That
Money
was
in
a
the Bank.
Russo swerve. A commercial break
Yeah,
running.
yeah, it really was.
Yeah. It,
And it wasn't just that commercial break. We also had another one during the match, which I thought that was really strange that they couldn't just let that play through.
no, well, that's the thing. I mean, for some reason, American TV has adverts every 6 seconds. We don't get that here. We have it like every 15 minutes, or if it's a film, every 25 minutes or half hour.
Yeah, but the weird thing is, I don't remember when Dolph Ziggler cashed in his. I don't remember him ever having any commercial breaks whatsoever. Didn't they just play that match all the way through? Or am I remembering that
I
wrong?
think so. But why is it every time someone cashes in on John Cena, they let him recover a little bit?
Yeah,
Every other time, why is this? I mean, I thought the rule was like it was almost like a hardcore 24/7 rule.
yeah,
Anytime, any place.
yeah, and that's the thing too because they kept on mentioning during the match that I think it was I want to say Michael Cole was mentioning it that the trainer kept on asking him John Cena if he wanted to continue. I kind of thought the the point of all of that was to catch them off guard and
Yeah, everyone
but that
else has pretty much.
yeah that was really weird that they kept on mentioning that and it wasn't just once they really talked about it a lot during the match.
I
But
think the
but
only time that's happened previously to someone else is when Miz cashed in on Randy Orton.
yeah.
But we all know how that went.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, the push that should have happened to Alex Riley.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's yeah, he should have basically just beat up Cena and then just pinned him, not let
Yeah.
him recover because that isn't how that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, and they build him up to be this really smart guy, and that certainly wasn't very intelligent.
Very intelligent booking, I know.
Mm. And sadly, Sandow would end up losing, and surprise, surprise, Cena's still your champion.
Yep, and then everyone stopped watching Raw.
Yep.
You'd be surprised how well you wouldn't be surprised how many people actually just stop watching then.
Yeah. I have so much to say with that, but I don't know. I think I kind of put that all out there when we were talking about that in the Facebook group because about 90% of the people got really upset about it.
Mm,
Because there could have been, I think there could have been other ways that they could have done it to where he would keep his money in the bank briefcase. Like this is like some sort of way, like maybe he could have just beat him up with the money in the bank briefcase and left, or just said, or just ended it with I could cash it in, but not right now, and then just left. And I don't know.
yeah, and also it's going to sound like I'm defending Cena, but I'm not. But how come that if there's like a disqualification in someone's cash-in match,
Hmm.
why does that automatically waste your opportunity? Wouldn't you technically get it back because the match was like
You would,
a
you
no
would think
contest
so.
almost?
Yeah, you would think so.
So yeah,
I don't know.
it seems to be very. I mean, it's this is this is WWE, so I mean, it just seems to be really inconsistent with the rules,
Yeah.
if there are any.
I'm not even sure if there is.
Uh,
All right. Anyway, next we would see well later on actually we would see Shawn Michaels. He would make his way down the ring, saying that he owes everyone an explanation, and kind of think he did. He would invite Daniel Bryan down to the ring and explain that what we already know. Triple H is his best friend, and he wanted to help, and that's why he did it. And over, Shawn Michaels would ask for an apology. Bryan would keep on declining it, and for whatever reason, Shawn would just get more and more angry. And then finally, he would shake his hand, but we would see Shawn get put in the yes lock and would have been pulled off by the referees.
I don't think they did that. It's a PG show.
Yeah. Uh,
Uh, I don't know what you were watching. I don't know whether you skipped
no.
channel.
No. No.
Anyway,
All right, and then after that, so we would see Brian get interviewed backstage, and just sort of out of nowhere, we would see the Wyatts end up coming out and attacking uh, Daniel Bryan. Bray would say that the devil made him do it. Not sure who he's referring to there. And then later on, after Punk and Ryback's last match, they would do the same thing to Punk.
Vince
And,
McMahon.
hmm.
He
Oh,
always.
CM Punk's being the devil. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. And I think this is also nice because the Wyatts kind of seem to be not really doing much of anything for a while as far as storyline goes, but in one night they take out WWE's two their top stars, and I certainly approve of it. I just wonder where exactly they're going with this.
I don't know. By the way, that was me saying who the devil could have been with Vince McMahon, and then you
Yeah.
said CM Punk, and I'm like, well, they're not the same person. But
Oh.
but then again, CM Punk's called himself the devil before. So has Kane
Yeah,
and the
I'm
Undertaker.
not sure who it could be.
Barry Horowitz.
Sure.
That's my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see where that goes on Raw next week.
Hmm.
And next we would see
Also, wait, whoa,
what's up?
before we get to the anything else, did you hear that Bray, or did you hear Bray tell Punk, like, saying, I've been waiting for this for a while?
Yeah,
It just reminded me of, like, this could be revenge from when CM Punk was whipping
yeah.
Husky Harris with the belt. And I thought, is that what he's referring to?
I think it would be great if they actually did refer to that.
Like a tongue-in-cheek reference. It's not going to obviously turn into anything.
No.
But, yeah, I just thought that was an interesting moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And after that, we would see. I guess the real Americans would actually. It seems like they're starting maybe to get a little bit of a push as they would defeat the current tag team champions in Goldust and Cody Rhodes.
I hope they are next in line for the tag belts.
Yeah, I think they could put on some pretty good matches.
Hmm. They're missing a huge opportunity by not giving them a certain theme song there.
What's that?
Oh, come on, you know what it is.
I think I'm missing it.
What's their tag name?
I'm a real American.
That's what the song "Real American" and they're the real
Yeah,
American.
yeah.
That's what I've done on 2K14. They're managed by Hulk Hogan.
Oh, that's
Real
great.
Americans with his thong, with his thong. No, not with his thong, with his song.
No. Yes.
Wrecking Ball flashbacks
Oh, jeez.
to Hogan, not Tensai. I
No,
don't mind
no.
Tensai. There's
Oh,
something
jeez.
strangely adorable about that. Hogan, on the other hand, no.
Not so much. All right, then lastly during the show we would end up seeing this the big celebration for Randy Orton being the new WWE champion, but it would get interrupted by the Big Show, where we would also see a wrestler standing at the entranceway getting involved. The Big Show would end up coming down to the ring and knocking out Orton, and we would almost see a confrontation between him and Triple H. And you got to imagine that they're going to have some sort of match at some point.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Even though we have seen Big Show versus Triple H many times, but I guess this is completely different circumstances and they're
Yeah,
hugely different parts of their career.
yeah, definitely.
Mm.
And I guess that will do it for Monday Night Raw. This would be the part where we get into NXT, but to be honest, I didn't really see anything that was really noteworthy about the show this week, unfortunately.
No, the card wasn't, hugely. I mean, probably the biggest star on there was probably Tyler Breeze.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, nothing majorly happened at all,
no,
really, unless we both fell asleep and missed something. But
no, I don't think so.
no, your typical sort of Breeze is gorgeous chant.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean he's been doing house shows with WWE, so
yeah,
maybe it's his time.
maybe.
Maybe, but no, I've got nothing to say about NXT.
All right, so I guess we'll just skip that for this week, and we'll move into TNA Impact. And the show starts off with Dixie coming out the ring, and I'm gonna keep on talking about this until she decides to change it. She was talking over the crowd again, and about how AJ no longer exists and no longer the TNA champion. Uh, and then it sounds like we're gonna have another tournament of former champions. Them being James Storm, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle, Chris Sabin, Bobby Roode, and Austin Aries.
Well remembered.
Yeah. And we're also going to find out who the eighth man is. What they said was going to be a gauntlet tournament. So basically, we're having a tournament to get into a tournament after we just had a long tournament.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Also,
Totally.
Dixie says that everyone in the tournament was going to be a former champion, and I'm pretty sure that hardly anyone that was in that gauntlet is a former champion.
No.
So I guess they could be like a wild card,
Yeah.
possibly. Yeah.
And later on, we would see that gauntlet match take place, which I guess sort of turned into a over the top battle royal, which was not really a gauntlet match at all.
No,
And
their gauntlet matches are Royal Rumbles.
yeah,
I'm not sure they know what an actual gauntlet is.
no, certainly doesn't seem that way.
There's only ever two people in a ring. Once one is beaten, another one comes in. And you just work
Yeah.
through until everyone's beaten, and whoever's the last man standing wins. A gauntlet is not a Royal Rumble, damn it! It's not even a Battle Royal. Battle
No.
Royal's completely different. So, damn it, TNA.
Yeah, and in that match, we would end up seeing Magnus get the eighth spot.
Yeah, that was quite predictable.
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine that they're gonna give him some sort of title shot with this tournament.
I'm hoping that this is building to him getting the belt.
Yeah.
I think at this stage, he definitely deserves it as the payoff because he's been working harder than I've ever seen him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just. I mean, if you kind of you take away like the whole scripted element of everything,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell he's actually put in a huge amount more effort into it. Not that he wasn't before, but he has that drive now.
Yeah.
You know, like he's really trying to impress the people in the management, because in the end, they're the ones that make or break careers,
Yeah.
funnily enough. But so the wrestler has to impress them to, get that, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, we'll see where this goes. But hopefully, this will be him getting the title and perfect way to turn him heel, having him
Mm-hmm.
feud with AJ, who'll no doubt come back with his belt, claim to
Mm-hmm.
be the real champion. You
Yeah.
know,
And then I think that would be great.
yeah. But how many times are they going to do that? It happens all the time.
Yeah, it seems that way.
I mean, the earliest that I was probably alive to see that happen was the whole Razor Ramon Shawn Michaels deal,
Mm-hmm.
where they had two IC belts.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably happened before then.
Probably.
It's hard to see things before you're around to see them.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't perfected time traveling yet, so
No, not yet.
not yet. Yeah.
And the last bit of what happened on TNA was we had I guess a return match from Bound for Glory between Bobby Roode and Angle, which seemed to have a bit of a weird and confusing ending that would end up having Angle just randomly just shaking in the ring. I'm not
Yeah, I
really
think
sure
he
what
was
that was
getting
about.
possessed by Papa Shango.
That's entirely possible.
He was getting his personality hacked,
Yes.
possibly. um, I just need to add that Bad Influence were hilarious the entire show.
Hmm.
Daniels' British accent is really good.
Yeah.
Kazarian's not so much.
No.
But yeah,
Yeah.
obviously they had their little bit with Eric Young dressed as Joseph Park, and then Abyss was
Yeah.
there, and I don't know whether they're doing this to kind of phase out the Joseph Park character.
Maybe.
Possibly. I'm just waiting for them to like find Abyss's mask and stuff in like Joseph Park's bag,
Yeah.
because that's got to happen at some point.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Because this is the total like Jekyll and Hyde thing.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm still enjoying it. Weirdly enough. But I
Yeah.
think it's because it's not too heavily pushed.
That's
That,
a good point.
it's not happening every week. If it was happening constantly, then you think, oh, God, enough of this. And probably some people are thinking, enough of this. But they're showing it enough to keep people interested. Well, I'm interested anyway. I mean, I really look forward to watching TNA anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
yes. I don't know. What do you think this is going to be coming to an end soon with the whole Joseph Park / Abyss storyline?
I would think so. I mean, it has been going on for quite some time.
It's been going on for like over 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Possibly, I might be way off, but definitely, I mean, definitely, like, on near 2 years,
Yeah.
if not more. I'm not sure of an exact date, but it's definitely been longer than a minute.
Yep. And that'll do it for Impact. I guess we'll get into a bit of a quick run through of SmackDown. Um, it would open up with John Cena uh, giving a bit of an open challenge to all the guys in the locker room, and then we would see the Real Americans come out to the ring, and they would
Bam,
invite John
bam,
Cena.
bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, and we would see them try to make him a part of the Real Americans, but he would, of course, decline it.
Yeah, why would
Uh,
he want to be part of people who have huge amounts more talent than him? No, he'd
yeah,
he'd slow them down. He'd decrease
Yeah,
their abilities of being awesome.
yeah. And so we would then see Damien Sandow end up getting involved and calls Cena a false champion, and that now his purpose is to end the Cena era.
I fully support his cause. Scene
Yeah.
era. Hmm. There's a marketing gimmick there somewhere.
Yeah, I think so. But
I hate the word C Nation. It just sounds like a bunch of like Marines.
yeah.
A big boat full of seamen.
And
You
I guess
created your own
moving.
innuendo there.
Yeah, a little bit. And
Welcome.
yeah. And after that, we would see a promo given by the Shield, and Ambrose would Dean Ambrose would make a reference to himself as the United States champion, and he got quite a look from Rollins and Reigns, and didn't look really too happy about that.
That was
And
brilliant.
uh, from what I saw, the same thing sort of happened on a Monday, and I don't
Yeah.
know, are we starting to talk about, or are we going to talk about possibly the beginning of the end for the Shield?
Do you know what? If you kind of go on what happened, you hope that they're not making a mistake by trying to turn Ambrose face and keep Rollins and Reigns heel. It needs to be the other way around, if
Yeah, I
anything,
agree.
or keep them all heel but separate.
Yeah.
I think Rollins. It's weird because the Americans. I don't know if do you always say Rollins because that's how it looks,
Yeah.
and people with that surname here is Rollins,
Yeah.
not Rawlings, because that'd be a completely different spelling.
Yes.
Anyway, enough of an English lesson from an
Yeah.
actual English person, wherever they are. Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the. I don't know. I think Rollins and Reigns need to stay together
Yeah.
because I don't think at this stage they're strong enough. They have a strong enough backing to go on and beat Solo Star.
Yeah. I mean,
In NXT, yes, completely. Seth
hmm
Rollins was. Oh, that was another thing.
hmm.
Um, they don't. They didn't mention. In the like 6 or 8 man tag that
Yeah.
was there. Yeah, they made no reference that Big E beat Seth for the NXT title,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
thought, that's a connection between the two.
Yeah. And once again, they're not mentioning anything about NXT.
No, but that's a good way for them to have a reason to feud.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? They'll reference rivalries from other companies, but not
hmm.
their own.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
Go sort them out. I'll wait here.
Yeah. And two last bits of things I wanted to mention. For the past couple of weeks, we've been seeing different wrestlers trying to sell stuff in their WWE shop, and finally we got WWE's best salesman doing the job, and then Dolph Ziggler. I thought that was fun to watch.
He's brilliant.
He
Do you know
really
the
is.
Primetime Players one was hilarious as well?
Yeah, I like that one.
Uh, I think they're actually going to start to play on the fact that Darren is gay, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think. Ooh, see, they. I don't want him to turn. I don't want WWE to turn him into Rico.
No, me either.
I think if they have him like a husband and wife,
Yeah.
that'll work, but not in like a girly way. Do you know what I mean? Kind of.
Yeah, just sort of just kind of keep his character kind of like it is now, but
Yeah,
add that. Yeah, I can see that.
yeah. You know, uh, I think that's the thing. I mean, yeah, as you say, Dolph Ziggler is their best salesman within like moves and property. He can pretty much sell water to a sailor.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know. Sell a bacon sandwich to a vegetarian or a vegan.
yeah. I'm sure they could do that too.
He's so Barney Stinson though.
Yeah, he really is.
It's bizarre. I'm sure
I'm,
there's some sort of basis there though.
yeah, I would imagine so.
Because if you've seen Neil Patrick Harris in other things, he's sort of similar. I'd buy anything that Dolph told me. Actually, I'd buy anything that Dean Ambrose would say. It's like,
Yeah,
buy this chair. I'll buy that chair.
it's like okay, I don't have any money on me, but I will buy it.
Right, do you take limbs?
It's like okay, here you go.
Get the cleaver.
And the last bits of I guess noteworthy things. It didn't happen on WWE TV. It happened exclusively on WWE.com, where we would hear that Triple H would ban the Big Show for life. How long it will actually last
that
remains
was
to be seen.
that's so playground.
Yeah,
You might as well have called him Smelly.
yeah,
Something, and it's like, oh, my dad's gonna bray your dad. Bray meaning beat up, by the way.
yeah,
That's an old school English word.
yeah.
Yeah. What, you've heard that before?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, you're gonna get brayed. Not to get mixed up with braiding someone's hair. Or Bray
No,
Wyatt.
no, two completely different things there.
Exactly. But I'm gonna bray you. You leave my hair alone.
My hair is nice where it is. Thank you.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah, and that'll do it for SmackDown, and it's time to get into some news.
Yes. I have 4 bits of news, which is quite a bit more than last week, where I had 1 bit of news that wasn't even wrestling related.
Yeah.
Cody's wife is returning to WWE. Yes, returning to WWE. She was in development. Do you remember what name she was under?
I do not.
Eden Styles.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's Eden or Eden,
Yeah.
possibly. Yeah, everything else is about TNA. Strangely enough. I mean, the strangest news coming from TNA is that there's lots of people wanting to buy it. I don't know if you've heard about this.
I have not.
But there's Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, jeez.
Jake Roberts is apparently interested. There's all these kind of outside investors. There was even rumours of Ted DiBiase Ted DiBiase Senior
Yeah.
wanting to do something like that, but yeah, I mean, a lot of it's rumours, but the Billy Corgan and Jake Roberts one is the one that possibly may have an element of. There might be some ground to stand on with that rumour.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan and WWE have allegedly reached a verbal agreement.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see where that leads. There's already rumours of Hogan versus Cena in the least selling match ever.
Oh god, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, but it might be. I don't know. Sometimes the fact that it's. I was going to say it might be the star power that could make it like a theoretically good match. But then you had Goldberg and Lesnar. That match should have been amazing.
Yeah.
It wasn't. So, yeah, Hogan versus Cena is just rumours, but there's already loads of campaign posters about it and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And our last bit of news is TNA has ended its partnership with OVW, their training facility. It was mostly run by Bruce Pritchard, and seeing as he got fired, they've pretty much just got rid of OVW as well. So, that's not saying that OVW has closed. It's just basically not associated with TNA. But they might still use talent from there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, there was a rumor that WWE might take it as another training facility, but they've already got enough, really.
Yeah, they really do.
I mean, I think they're using Ring of Honor as well. There's
Yeah.
some sort of deal. We've talked about it before, and we've never really got to the bottom of what it is because we're not
Mhm.
detectives.
No.
I mean, I could probably send a certain a certain kitty cat to go find out information,
Perhaps.
and she probably would. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's it for news. Other than some, I guess, WWE 2K14 stuff. I mean, obviously that game's out now. Have you got your copy yet, or are you still waiting till a bit later?
I'm still waiting on mine.
Oh well, here's the. You know what? People were debating whether this Undertaker signature was a genuine signature or not.
I don't believe I've seen that yet.
Right? Yeah, it's a genuine signature. It's
Oh.
not just like a screen printed one on a promotional card. I was very lightly just rubbing my fingernail on, across it, and that's definite pen.
Yeah.
So that's a definite. I have a genuine Undertaker signature,
That's cool.
but I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if it's just to put it on my wall, knowing full well that I'll never get an Undertaker signature again, or do I put it on eBay and just get my like 60 quid I paid for the game back?
I don't know.
It's ridiculous. See,
It's a tough call.
it is a tough call because now's the perfect time to do it. I don't know. I'll have to look, but if
Yeah.
I can get like a stupid amount, then possibly. But then I'll be like, oh, I'll never get an Undertaker signature again, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not the hugest of Undertaker fans, but not as like not compared to like how I like Punk or Ambrose or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like I'd never go pay to see Undertaker wrestle.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. It's bugging me like crazy.
Yeah.
It's only had one bad review as well, and that was for
Yeah.
some arrogant newspaper who gave it like 2 stars. So
That's it's not good.
no, ignore those anyway. They're very biased against wrestling.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people even give it to them to review.
No.
Not Road to WrestleMania. 30 Years of WrestleMania is actually really good as well. You'll enjoy that.
I can't wait to play it.
There's an amazing bit where it actually has like the in-game Randy Savage,
Yeah.
and they've basically reenacted one of his promos against Hulk Hogan. Yeah, they basically have the in-game Randy Savage mouthing that, and it's the original audio of the promo.
Really?
It's really well done because even like the mouth sync is done so well. It matches, really well, and yeah,
Yeah.
they've definitely done really well with that. It's just a shame they haven't touched Create a Wrestler mode at all. There's nothing new there other than Superstar Heads.
That's a shame.
So we're still getting like hair bits from that they've had in the same like. Even the templates are exactly the same. So, I mean, it's been that way for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all the news and moaning I've got for now.
Alrighty then. Now it's time for Facebook posts of the week. Unfortunately, we didn't really find any post that's I guess was really worth talking about. And I've seen a lot of copy and pasting, which is fine, but it's definitely doesn't really encourage too much discussion. Pictures are always nice too, but once again, we're really looking for more of discussions, more original thoughts, rather than just going randomly looking on the internet and copying some sort of news headline and sort of pasting that in there. So we don't really have any sort of winner for I guess for this week as far as Facebook post of the week goes.
No, I mean, generally, what we want to encourage you to do is if something happens and you feel like you want to you express yourself, do a little blog,
Yeah, that too.
on our page, and just make sure it is definitely your thoughts and not influenced by other things,
Yeah,
and try and bring in original content because every other Facebook group, wrestling related, is all copy and paste.
Yeah.
And it strikes me that there's so many of those pages when they're all exactly the same. So the more original and intelligent posts, like where you like, I don't know, say you want to talk about, I don't know what the future holds about Sami Zayn,
Yeah.
you can have like a little, I mean, you've got a whole post space, I don't know what you call it, where it says write something, just write something,
Yeah.
say how you feel about a certain thing and whatnot, and chances are that's more likely what's going to get post of the week. So unfortunately for this week, as we said, there's nothing really that stood out hugely. That's no disrespect to people who have posted stuff, by the way.
No, because we certainly read them all.
There is some funny stuff, but unfortunately you didn't create it.
No. So I guess with that being said, we'll just move right on into the Q&A portion of the show.
Yes, the qua.
Yes, the qua.
The qua.
And then our first question comes from Tom, who asked, do you think Kane will be on the WWE Live Tour in Europe after making a return this past Sunday at Hell in a Cell?
I don't see why not. I think he should be, really. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see it. Depends. They could really pair him up with really anybody, I think.
Yeah. I don't think they've... unless this is their way of actually taking him off TV. But, I mean, he's only just come back, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope so. I mean, me and Michelle Silver are going.
Yeah.
We want to take, like, shield signs.
Yeah.
Like Manos Ambrose. Although I think me and Michelle are going to fight over that. Who gets the Ambrose sign?
Yeah.
Seeing Reigns, one saying Rollins, and yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We're working on like this big 3 separate signs, but when you put them together, it's like one thing.
Yeah.
So it should be fun. So maybe Kane will be there. Maybe he won't. I don't know. It always says the lineup's scheduled to change anyway, so
that's true.
Yeah.
All right, next question is from Michelle. It's who asks, do you think now that Matt Bourne has sadly passed away that we will never see a Doink in the WWE again?
Yeah, I don't think they'd do it.
No.
I mean, chances are if they did, it would be Steve Lombardi, as it always usually is.
Yeah.
Or some random guy from the indies. So I don't know. I mean, Steve Lombardi actually makes quite a good Doink, but I think it'd be a bit disrespectful.
Yeah.
Or a really good tribute. So you don't know. That's the annoying thing. It's that fine line.
Yeah.
Between insult and tribute.
It really is.
So I probably don't think we're going to see it.
Yeah, me either. And our next question, I think we've answered this on a few different occasions, but Corey wants to know if TNA and WWE did a crossover event, what would be the 3 matches you'd want to see?
Yeah, we've covered this all the time. I do have 3 matches that I guess haven't really been discussed. So I mean, if we do keep getting this question all the time, which I don't encourage, no more TNA versus WWE questions, please. We get them all the time, and we always answer them. But I have one match being Bad Influence versus Primetime Players.
Mm-hmm.
Match 2. I mean, this kind of really should be the main event, but I have a fatal 4-way with Austin Aries, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and Samoa Joe.
Oh, that'd be great.
Star power, and I don't want to call it a main event, but it's just how they came to my head. And then there's I have like a 12-man tag match where I've got the Shield and the Wyatts against Abyss, Eric Young, Bobby Roode, Jeff Hardy, and the Bromans.
Wow, that's a big one.
People always put it's like the main eventers against the main eventers. But I'd want the lower card to get their chance to shine.
Yeah.
Whether they're face or heel. And as I guess a bonus match or a dark match, I'd have Gail Kim versus Natalya.
Yeah.
And that's what I'd do. What would you do?
I don't know. Yours sounded a hell of a lot better than what mine was.
Okay.
And and we are a little bit time restricted, so I won't get the two into mine. Uh, Hopefully next week we'll be able to uh have more time for this, but busy schedules will
Indeed.
definitely conflict. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of comments. I'm just trying to find which one's actually a question.
I think Jordan's the next question.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, the question is who would win and why? Right now, 2013 Daniel Bryan versus before WWE, before 2010 Bryan Danielson. Yes, it's the same man, but which one is better in terms of, say, like moveset, matches, crowd responses, or promos? Because WWE change and ban a lot of stuff that indie talents have as characteristics, like moves or promo techniques.
See, I know exactly what he's getting at here. Like, if you have a guy, say, like in the Indies, like take CM Punk for instance, in the
Yeah,
Indies, he had a huge moveset, like the Pepsi plunge and whatnot, moves that he
yeah,
cannot do in the WWE. So it's almost like two different CM Punks, even though they are the
yeah,
same guy. I know exactly what Jordan means. I think for moveset, possibly Indie. Well, I guess Danielson for moveset, but for experience now, Daniel Bryan.
yeah,
So I think it'll be a close one. I don't see that match ending, any other way but a submission.
yeah.
Whether it be the cattle mutilation or the whatever he wants to call it now, lock.
Mm-hmm.
It can only
Yeah, I
end.
can
I
see that.
can't pick a winner, but it'll definitely end in one of those.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah, just by submission.
All right, moving through here, scrolling down, lots of comments, questions. There's one from Hector. I think we've uh, answered this one in the past. I guess not so much in detail, but this is for both of you to answer. What is your perfect match card for WrestleMania 30? Must have 10 to 12 matches. That's a lot of matches.
Yeah, I have 10 matches planned out.
All right,
I'll go
so
through them. Okay. All right, match one. All right, Daniel Bryan versus Triple H for the WWE title. Because Triple H, as I said on a previous show, had declared that he's the only one who can hold the title with prestige.
hmm
Right. So, they'll face each other. Daniel Bryan would win that one, so he has the title. There's a reason why that was on first as well, because later on there would be a world title match between. Well, I'll get to that, but basically in the main event, the WWE champion would face the world champion for an undisputed title.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, so match two would be Bray Wyatt versus Big E Langston for the Intercontinental title.
hmm
Match three, the Wyatt family versus Reigns and Rollins for the number one contender for the tag title. Match four would be for the world title with CM Punk challenging Damien Sandow.
yeah,
Punk could win that one. Match five, uh, recently called up NXT star Emma and Santino against Fandango and Summer Rae. We'd seen it on NXT, but this is like their chance to really go all out.
right,
And then we have actually match six will be NXT title getting its own spot on Mania card. A fatal four way with Bo Dallas, Adrian Neville, Corey Graves, and Chris Hero. Match seven, AJ Lee versus Natalia in a submission match for the Divas title.
hmm
Match 8, Undertaker putting his streak on the line against Wade Barrett in a casket match. Number 9, recently signed Austin Aries versus Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Antonio Cesaro. Sami Zayn, who won a place from a tournament in NXT versus RVD. All those in a Money in the Bank match. And the main event would, of course, be CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan, champion against champion, for one undisputed championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Wow, sounds perfect.
I felt like Ace Ventura when he tries to say things like ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, that's what I'd do.
Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, let's see if we can run through these real quickly before we get out of here. first of three from Tim. Is Kane without a mask more dangerous and useful for this Daniel Bryan, Big Show, and others versus the Corporation feud, or would they be better off having him go in a different way, like an old school mask Kane?
I don't know. Kane's words to Stephanie was, "The monster's yours to do what you want with."
Yeah,
So whether that means he's going to be like a corporate Kane, I
yeah,
don't know. We don't know enough about what's going to happen to make that kind of call yet.
yeah. I
So
mean,
I can't really answer it.
we'll probably just see him as the unmasked Kane for a while. Depending on how long they want to run with that is still remains to be seen.
Yeah.
All right, next question from Tim. Thoughts on Styles having title matches outside of TNA, and does that help or hurt smaller promotions?
Helps him.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
To a smaller company, the Impact Wrestling title or TNA title or whatever you want to call it, it's like it's a huge thing. So
Yeah,
yeah, definitely helps him.
yeah, definitely agree with that. And third question and final question from Tim. Uh, Halloween themed question. If you could have a haunted house using 5 to 10 pro wrestlers and they have them get dressed up for it, who would they be and what would their costumes be and how would the haunted house be set up and be scary?
I didn't have time to really give this much thought, so I think the
Uh,
obvious answer would have like the Wyatts there, just being the Wyatts.
yeah,
I just put
but
all like the scary gimmicky ones, like Papa Shango,
or
maybe
Boogeyman.
Undertaker.
Get Boogeyman in there, get
Yeah,
Kane in
Boogeyman,
there.
Manta, Phantasmo.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe you can randomly get Abyss in there somewhere.
yeah, possibly. I mean, I can't. Off the top of my head, I don't really. Kelly's career.
No.
Um, yeah, I mean, that's really all I can sort of think of at the top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they probably come out dressed up in their normal attire, I would imagine.
Yeah.
All right. Last question is from Benjamin. Who is a better heel, Vicky Guerrero or Dixie Carter? Vicky Guerrero by far.
Yep.
I think everybody knows by now how much I'm liking Dixie as a heel.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Vicky
Yeah.
Guerrero.
Yeah. She gets boos every time she comes out. All she has to do is say "excuse me" and they boo, and she acknowledges the crowd. So that about does it for
I
me.
don't know. Sometimes she's like a tweener.
Well, there's sometimes with some of the wrestlers, yeah.
Like like when she was screwing with Del Rio, that was a face move.
And
But
well, though Dixie, she was kind of a tweener too with when on TNA when she did the whole the spin for Chris Sabin and Jeff Hardy's match. I think she said it was like very sarcastic. Good luck to Chris Sabin. I think. Okay,
yeah,
remember that.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And that'll do it for the show. But let's do some plugs here before we go. Uh, if you're listening to this show and you're not a part of our Facebook group, the link will be in the description below for you to go check us out there. We have tons of different chats going for shows throughout the week, many different topics, and that's whenever we do our top tens, they are usually done through there. Our latest one is top 10 UK wrestlers, and we also have top 10 wrestlers of all time. Uh, Basically, how that's done is someone in our group they put a thread, and also I know you've been posting quite a few videos lately, and in your channel.
Yeah. I mean, nothing major. I have just started recording some WWE 2K14 stuff. I'm playing through, or at least trying to play through the universe mode, but it's so stressful. I mean, it is a lot better than it has. This is probably the best version of it, but there's still so many faults. But so I will be putting a bunch of 2K14 stuff in the future. Probably starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have quite a lot of just random sort of geeky stuff on my channel. If you like gameplay, if you like random acting scenarios, I never know how to really plug that, but I've got my own little, I guess, parody news show called BS Wrestling News, where I just take random news headlines that hopefully wouldn't actually happen. Yeah, so it's just your standard, or not your standard, but I don't know. My slogan's like a little bit of everything, and it really is. I can't explain it, but the best thing you can do is go check it out. You know, there's loads of gameplay, loads of wrestling stuff, loads of just random shenanigans, pretty much.
All right, so I guess that'll about
Oh,
do
I
it.
didn't even give the link to it.
Oh,
It's youtube.com/generation specs. Link will be down below. You have to actually click view description of the video,
yeah.
and there'll be a long list of links and whatnot for you to check out. So yeah.
And that will do it for this week. And I would like to remind you all that there's only one way to talk wrestling.
Intelligently, and there's only one way to moan about it: on the internet.